Hey, this is Nick Franklin. I'm here at the Linwood Wikispeed shop, and I'm just going to give you a quick update of what I've been doing since about 3 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday. So basically going through the wiring system. Everything was kind of mocked up before. There's just wires shoved into connectors and stuff like that. So I've actually started terminating harnesses. So you can see we got some connectors here. It's still not final stuff, but this is definitely going to be like our actual road test mock-up. This thing's going to go to Portland soon, so they're going to test drive it up and down there and see how it holds up. This is version 3.0 of that stupid relay box that I keep redoing. This one is now mounted inside what used to be a fuse, replacement fuse holder. And you can see I've got 3 connections coming out of it. This one comes in from the front. This is your ignition, turns on the ignition relays and stuff like that. And here we have an ignition relay, a starter relay, ignition, starter, fuel pump, and we have a starter cut relay. And what that is now that we've got the transmission all hooked up and everything, the automatic transmission grounds, it sends a ground to prevent the starter from turning. It allows the starter to turn only in park or neutral. That's why you can't turn your key and start your car when your car is not in park or neutral, and it's unsafe. It would make the car lunge forward. So that's what that relay does, is it prevents it from starting if it's not in park or neutral. So that's pretty important, especially on a vehicle like this where we're always testing it. We're not always paying attention to what else is going on. It's good to know that we won't have this car flying through the shop wall. So that's most of that back there. Up here, that trailer box thing isn't working, so I'm going to have to replace that soon and redo the lighting again. I created the harnesses that are going to run up from the back to the front. So here's one of them. This is going to do the gas pedal and then the brake switch. The brake has a brake override, which makes it so that you cannot accelerate while holding the brake pedal. That kind of has to do with like that Toyota thing. If you're holding the brake pedal, your car will not move forward. This is a brake override system. So that's what those brake wires are for. And let's see what else we got here. I don't really know exactly why I decided to do this, but I did. Oh, I was thinking about doing a heater core on this thing right here, and I'll talk more about that later. But the fuel pressure regulator was mounted on there, fuel pump, all that. So I relocated those. They're kind of tucked up underneath inside there. I also hooked up the factory cable for the shifter because we weren't able to get the full range. We weren't able to get park all the way down to drive 1. So I'm going to try doing it remotely, and hopefully that will actually allow us to be able to adjust it better in the future. It's easier to work on that way, and it'll hopefully be better overall. I also put the new gas tank in there. It's a little bit bigger than the old one that was in there, and it also has a fuel sending unit right here. That lets the gauge up front know how much gas is in the tank. The problem is this tank isn't really fitting quite right, and so we're going to have to kind of look into that a little bit later. But for now, it's going to work. So I think that's about everything. I'm about to take off, go home, and go snowboarding tomorrow. So I'm really, really, really thoroughly going to enjoy that. Alright guys, have a good week.